I really hope you're not stupid enough to fall for the Democratic idiocy calling Donald Trump a racist. They do it all the time because they have no issues on which they can actually win and run. They've destroyed the economy. We have record poverty, record businesses failing, record anemic recovery from recession. Obama's the first president never to reach 3% in annual growth. He's averaging 1.8%, which is pathetic. More businesses closing than starting. The only reason the unemployment rate looks good is because so many millions have left the labor market frustrated because they can't find jobs. He's destroying the economy with Obamacare and regulations. And the world is falling apart. You got China and Russia and ISIS and Al-Qaeda and North Korea. I mean, it's just a disaster. The cities that are run by Democrats are falling apart. Race riots. And so the only thing they can do is try and beat up Trump by saying he's a racist, which is hilarious because the guy for 30 years has been in business. He's made $10 billion. He's employed tens of thousands of blacks and Hispanics, people of all races. He's never been accused of racism. He's got all these accolades from his employees. It's just nonsense. You'd think over 30 years somebody would come up with some evidence that he's a racist. No, now suddenly he's a racist. It's because the Democrats always try and divide the population, scare people, because they have no issues. It's just a ridiculous political party. Now, let's take what the issues are. They claim he's a racist because he said something about Mexicans. What he said was that, first of all, we should have borders. Now, John Kerry slipped at, maybe he did it intentionally, when he gave a commencement address this week and said what the real agenda of Hillary Clinton and the left is: no borders at all. Borderless world, he's called it. Now, can you imagine that? That anybody in the world, 7 billion people, can come to the United States? You want to have what's happening in Europe, where the Muslim immigrants are raping their way and crimes and murders, and anybody could come? Now, the Democrats want it because they know that those people from South America and Central America will vote Democratic. But don't we have a right to have some borders? If you don't want any borders, vote Democratic. But if you believe that we have some borders, we can decide who can come into the country. We should have laws. That's what he's talking about. And he also said that there's a lot of criminals that have come, which is true. Huge amount of crime is caused by illegal aliens. People that have been here, committed many crimes, been deported often, are still here. You got all these illegal sanctuary cities. That's not racism. That's simply stating the fact we have a right to decide who can come into this country. They should do it legally. And then about Muslims, we have a big problem. Europe is letting them all in. They're raping and crime. And our FBI and our security agencies say we have no way to vet these Syrian refugees. They have perfect phony passports now. They have no papers. We have no way of vetting them. And there's 1 billion Muslims in the world, according to the recent Pew poll, who believe in Sharia law. And 51% of American Muslims believe in Sharia. And 25% of American Muslims, by the Pew poll, believe in violent jihad. And so what he's saying is there should be a temporary ban on Muslim immigration until we can sort out who's who. That's not racist. They're not a race. We're talking about people that represent a security threat, and we have a right to decide whether we want to endanger ourselves. And the question you should be asking is, why do the Democrats want to endanger us by importing 100,000 Syrian rapefugees? That's the real question. These are just typical Democratic lies. They are the racist party. They're the ones who talk about race all the time. You know, we have a black president, black secretary of state, black Supreme Court justice, black national security advisor. We have black attorney general. The idea that we have a racist country is just ridiculous. But the Democrats want to keep the race card up because they think they can scare blacks into voting for them. Even though the KKK were all Democrats and the guy who freed the slaves was a Republican, Abe Lincoln. And you just think about what's happening now with the Democratic-controlled cities, where there's a massive surge in black-on-black death. We have record poverty under Obama affecting black people, record black unemployment. The Democrats are destroying the blacks, and they continue to vote for them. They're the real racists. But don't buy this idea that Trump is a racist. Hillary Clinton is clearly a criminal. She should be in jail for fraud. Her emails were hacked by our enemies. When she was Secretary of State, the nation's worst countries gave bribes to the Clinton Foundation.